Hey everybody, welcome back. Draft video number 4. Just got home from my 4th draft since getting back into the game. So I guess it's kind of officially just over a month now since my return. And as you see behind me, I did a little better than the last couple weeks. There is a prize package there. That's right. Prize pack and a couple packs. And then I picked up a couple packs of Japanese War of the Spark that I'm going to open in this video too, at my local game store. I also, if you can kind of see behind those, I picked up a couple boxes that I'm going to open in the next couple weeks on video. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So first up, let's talk about the deck. So I went back to the last couple weeks, I veered from my original plan and went with a little bit different style decks and failed kind of miserably. Tonight I went back to the original deck I tried building the first week, the blue and red card draw, and try and use as much speed as possible. So what I ended up getting, I ended up doing these Merchant of the Vales so I could do the extra card draw to trigger abilities like the Improbable Alliance and the Blood Haze Wolverines, and then there's a few other cards that are affected by this. One of which was the Mantle of the Tides. Now this did actually turn the tides. See what I did there? Do you like that? In a couple of the games. This was actually pretty powerful. I wish I'd have gotten more. I only ended up getting the one. But because you can attach it for free every time you draw your second card, and it has +1/+2, and what I was trying to concentrate on creature-wise here was flyers. So I was getting flyers out, which flyers are something that people have a lot of trouble with in drafts. So the more flyers you draft or unblockable creatures, the better off you're going to be. I didn't get a single of the little 1/1 unblockable artifact guys this time. So what are they called? Gingerbread, ginger something. Anyways, so I did get a Tome Raider, which also lets me draw a card to give that second draw each turn to trigger abilities. I got a Fairy Vandal, which you can flash in, which is nice. And whenever you draw your second card, you put a 1/1 counter on him. I had this guy up to I think a 5/6 at one point, which was pretty awesome. A 5/6 flyer in draft is pretty hard to deal with. And then I drew a Hypnotic Sprite, which has got the counterspell ability, which I was never able to actually use because mana is just too tight in draft, and I was having some mana problems in a couple of the games. But he was a 2/1 flyer, so good little blocker and stuff. I did do an Arcanist Owl, mainly for the looking at the top 4 and being able to pull something out of it. But I didn't run too many artifacts or enchantments, so most of the time it just kind of fizzled, and I ended up just putting 4 cards on the bottom of my library. And he was tough to get out, being 4 of 1 color there. There was a couple other cards that I pulled, that I drafted, that I would have liked to have used, but I was worried about using 4 of the same color to cast a creature. The Rampart Smasher would have been a beast, and so the Thunder Snapper would have been pretty decent too, because it would have given that extra card draw capability when I cast bigger creatures, but I didn't really have much above 5 to trigger his ability anyway, and then trying to get 4 islands at one time to cast him, or 4 mountains to cast him, thought was going to be a little tough, so I didn't go with those in the main deck. Now, the other flyer that I drew was the good old Vantress Gargoyle. This may not be a very expensive card, but it is actually a really, really awesome card. Not only do you get to mill your opponent's library, but eventually you have a 2-drop 5/4 flyer that they have to deal with. I got him out a couple times, and it was pretty much game. Unless they were able to lock him down with a Frogify or something, he was pretty beastly, especially once I threw that Mantle of the Tides on him. So, my problem was, I did, let me go over a couple of the good parts. The Overwhelmed Apprentice, I wish I'd gotten more of these. This guy is awesome. He mills your opponent's library and lets you scry 2 when he comes in. He's a 1-drop 1/2. Beastly little guy. So, he was pretty cool. I did get a Brimstone Trebuchet, which is nice. It's guaranteed 1 damage every turn unless they can deal with it. So always remember, you want to pop this at the end of your opponent's turn, right before they say your go. You say, wait, before you end your turn, pop you for 1. That way you keep them untapped in case you need to use them for something in the meantime. I did get a Rimrock, which I mainly use to do the Boulder Rush. The target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. But he was actually a really good attacker, because if they had like a bunch of 2/3s over there, I could attack with them and take one out. After I'd already pumped up one of my critters in a surprise attack, then I was able to take out one of their creatures afterwards. Alright, and then Skullknocker Ogre. Pretty decent. I never actually got to use his ability, which kind of sucks, but because I kept getting him kind of later game, and he wasn't as effective. They had blockers out for him by then. But if you do get him over, he does cause them to discard a card at random, and then you get to draw a card for a 4/3 for 4 mana. Also a really good creature. And the Corridor Monitor actually turned out to be really cool because, you know, the Brimstone Trebuchet and stuff, you know, you could untap your creature. So you could tap him for 1 and then cast him and then get another one out of him. So that was pretty cool. I drafted an Unexplained Vision, but never actually got to cast it because it just, you know, is too expensive. Got it late game. I did get a Castle Ventress, which that Scry ability came in handy a couple times, not a whole lot. 1 Barge in and 1 Blow Your House Down. I think I actually drafted 2. This is the stuff I drafted that I didn't use. I pulled out 1 of the Merchant of the Veils because I kept getting them. When I had 3, it was too many, so I pulled out 1 and just went down to 2. And just the 1 Blow Your House Down. That's just more of a, that's a game ender right there. If you have it and you've got enough to finish them off, you can stop all their creatures from blocking so you can go in for that final blow. But the rest of the time it just kind of sits in your hand, and most of the time you end up sacking it to the Merchant, be able to draw another card to trigger abilities. I got a Turtle. I probably should have stacked him because he does make somebody to where he can't be blocked, non-human to where they can't be blocked. So I probably should have stacked him, but I didn't. Moonlight Scavengers, they were okay. Not anything I thought was going to be really helpful. Weapon Rack, Henswalker, Roving Keep, and then I did get a 7 Dwarves, but just got 1. So, and I had a lot of small kind of weenie creatures to begin with, so he didn't fly. Now my problem, why I didn't do better than I did, is because I didn't pull any removal. I got a Slaying Fire, which is a foil one, which is nice, and I got 1 Scorching Dragonfire and 1 Flang. The Queen of Ice, I probably, if I'd have known how powerful she was, I probably would have drafted more, because this is a pretty cool creature. This creature puts a lot of stops to a lot of shenanigans, because you can tap a creature for 2 turns with just 1 blue and 1 colorless, and then when you bring her in, every time she does combat damage to a creature, that creature doesn't untap the following turn. So even though she's probably going to die if you block a big creature with her, at least it takes that creature out of play for 2 turns. So she's kind of removable. If I'd kind of been more familiar with this one, I probably would have drafted a few more, because there was a few more going around. But I was mainly worried about getting the Scorching Dragonfires, but I literally, that's the only one I came across. That was my #1 card when I went into the draft. I was like, I've got to get removal. That was the #1 thing I was looking for. I only got 1 out of 3 packs. So we were in a small pot. It was 6 players on the table, so it wasn't too huge. But anyway, that's what I drafted. I ended up coming in 4th place. So I did get a promo pack and a couple of Throne of Eldraine boosters. And then, like I said, I bought a couple of the Japanese War of Sparks just to see what we can get on there, because I wanted a little bit more to open in the video. Now, stuff I pulled. This one, I didn't rare draft at all, except this one. It's a foil with Giant Killer. So, yeah, I had to grab that. I mean, come on. It's a foil Giant Killer. So, so I grabbed that, but there was really nothing else in that pack I could have used anyways, because I was really adamant about, because the last couple weeks I really went after some shiny morsels, and it really kind of hurt my deck. So this time I wasn't worried about rares at all. Just happened to come across that in a pack I really couldn't find anything else useful in. So nobody was playing green at our table, so it was like this and a bunch of green cards left in the pack. So I was like, okay, I'll take it. And I got an Escape the Wilds and then a few uncommons. So I didn't actually pull anything, but I did much better. I got 4th place, so I actually got a promo pack and a couple boosters. So technically, by not rare drafting, I ended up with more good stuff. And I did get a couple of good cards in here. So let's move this stuff out of the way. I'll clean it up later. just so we can kind of bust into these packs and see what we get here. So let's do the regular packs first, then I'll do the promo, and then we'll do the Japanese War of the Spark. Oh, look at that. Speak of the devil, there's a Mantle of the Tides right on top. Wish I'd have drafted this pack. So, alright, let's get to our uncommons. Once and Future, Fairy Vandal, Rampart Smasher. Yeah, this would have been much better in the draft. And then another Adventurous Gargoyle. What's the odds of that? That's funny. Alright, so, yeah, I wish that pack had been at our table. I could have gotten two Gargoyles or 2 Fairy Vandals. Alright. And next pack. Get through our commons. Still no removal spells. Removal just was not in that box that we were using to draft with tonight. Inquisitive Puppet, Frosty the Wilds, another Rampart Smasher, 2 packs in a row, and a Giant Killer non-foil. Irony. It's like 2 of every card I already drafted tonight. Alright, let's try the promo pack. Let's see what my actual prizes were here. Oop. I don't want to give away my arena code there. We'll put that out to the side. We got Glass Casket. That's what I got my last prize pack when I came in second. Ooh, a Villainous Broker of Blood rare from Core 2020. And a Adventurous Gargoyle promo. Oh, that's funny. I mean, so I almost got a place at Adventurous Gargoyles tonight, ironically. So there's my promo cards that I won. And now, I'm sure you guys are waiting to see what we break into as far as the Japanese War of the Spark. Let me move these piles out of the way. And let's see if there's a foil Liliana in one of these packs, because that would definitely pay for my draft. And then some. Alright, these are backwards, right? Oh, no, this one's, oh, yeah, backwards. Okay, looks like we got a, I think that's Cauldron. Is that right? Cauldron, I think. I don't know the Japanese cards. I'm sure if you watched my full box opening of the War of the Spark Japanese, yeah, I don't know the cards very well. Alright, looks like we did get an alternate art Planeswalker, but I know she's not one of the better ones, I don't believe. So we'll put that aside. That is an alternate art. I'm pretty positive. I don't think that's the regular art. A couple uncommons, and then our commons. I don't think there's any foils hidden throughout the packs in these. Alright, and let's try the other one. So, I think that Cauldron's maybe $1 or $2. Not sure about the Japanese ones, what the value is like on that. Really, it's just the Planeswalkers with the alternate art or the foil Planeswalkers in here. Token, land, and a vehicle. Oh, boo. Oh, we got the Nox Bullis or something. I don't know. I forget his name, but that's the regular art. So I wasted a lot of money on those packs for no reason, because there's nothing in there really. And these were like $5 a pack, so yeah, I didn't get any. I definitely didn't get my money's worth out of them. I'll have to check on that one, but I think that's probably only maybe $1 or $2 at best. I could be wrong. You guys are probably yelling at me in the comments. So I did pick up an unopened box of Ravnica Allegiance and Guilds of Ravnica. And I already opened the Ravnica Allegiance bundle pack that I had. And I do have a Guilds of Ravnica. You can kind of see it peeking in here, bundle pack. So I'll be opening the bundle pack and the full box of Ravnica Allegiance here soon, and I'll get them posted up in the next week or so. If you stuck around this far, I really appreciate it. Let me know how you guys have been doing in the drafts on Throne of Eldraine. And if you come across any really cool combos that are easy to draft, commons, obviously. Commons are the most important cards in draft. I mean, rares are nice to get, but you can't rely on them. So if you come across any cool, effective common combos or even uncommons, let me know. Let me know in the comments anything you like to draft and how it's worked out for you. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.